Welcome to a Constant Contact webinar. Today's Day of Digital brings you Drive New Business with Social Media. I am Dave Meyer, your host for today, and I am with BizzyWeb, and you'll hear more about me in just a moment. For now, though, just wanted to start with a few brief housekeeping details. If you do have questions or things that you need, or if you're having an issue with the seminar today, the best thing to do is to follow along on the hashtag BizzyWebinar, and we'll be taking questions and or handling things there. So if you do see any issues, you can just go to Twitter and post BizzyWebinar as highlighted right below your screen on the events for today. So if you click on that, you can do that. Also, if you have an issue, we do have a phone number that you can reach us at, and I'm going to leave that with you in a moment. But you can simply click play, and you're probably doing that already here. But you can click that, get going, and then you can also make this into a full screen after you click play to get more out of your experience. So if you do happen to note that things lag or freeze, don't fear. Just pause and scroll back a little bit, because usually with YouTube Live, that's what happens. It's just encoding and it takes a couple of seconds. And if you scroll backwards, no data is lost and you'll be able to enjoy the seminar and ask questions. Of course, if you have to have, or if you need to take a call or something, or if something gets in your way, you want to rewind, you can do that live as well. And you can also watch this event after the event. Also worth noting, right after the event is done today, we're going to be sending you a brand new handout. This is an overview of how to pick the right social media site for your business, and as well, how to create content, use keywords and hashtags, and grow your list through social media. This is a really handy 2-page reference that you can keep right on your desk. So make sure to hang out throughout the event. And if you don't happen to get that, be sure to send me a note. And I'm going to share with you how to do that in just a moment. Here is how to reach us if you have an issue. I am Dave Meyer, that's me. And you can send me a note at dave@bizzyweb.com if you would like a copy of today's presentation. Or again, remember, you're going to be getting, as a registrant for today's event, a 2-page quick links of how to do all of the things that we're going to talk about today. And if you do have issues, you can call us at 612-4BizzyO, or just send us a note. So get a hold of us that way, and let's get down to business. First, just a moment about BizzyWeb. BizzyWeb is a digital marketing agency. We're located just outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we take care of all flavors of marketing for our businesses. That includes websites, social media, email marketing, of course, through Constant Contact, as well as content writing, advertising through Google, Facebook, and other places, and search engine optimization. So if you need help with your digital marketing and you don't know where to go next, I'd encourage you to get a hold of us. And again, you can reach us at 612-424-9990, or just send me a note at dave@bizzyweb.com. Let's get started. First, wanted to talk to you about what marketing means today. Really, what we're doing from today versus 5, 10, or 15 years ago is that we're flipping the funnel, and everything is kind of different than it used to be. What you used to need to do is broadcast out as broadly as possible in the hopes that a couple folks, maybe 1 or 2% of those people, would magically find their way to your door. Now, things are completely different. What you instead focus on doing is connecting with the people that you already know. So you're working, being awesome, doing what you already do as a business, and you let the word of mouth spread via social networks. You do that, that lets people connect with you, share you via Facebook, connect up with you, and ask additional questions, increase their engagement. I've referenced this often as social media and marketing of all flavors is now sort of like a merry-go-round or a carousel, depending on where you are in the country. You can hop on and hop off, or find the company that you're working with in any of a dozen ways. You might follow their emails, you might see their website, you might find them on Facebook, you might engage on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. The key is you need to be able to get people to the content that they're looking for as quickly as possible. So that's sort of marketing in a nutshell. Engagement is what it's all about. And there are a number of ways that you can do this But in the new marketing world, you'll spend less time finding new customers and more time engaging your existing happy customers. Social media, in combination with email and other online marketing activities, has really leveled the playing field for smaller organizations like ours to compete with the big boys. Word travels quickly on social media, and more importantly, people trust the reviews they see on their social networks. As a matter of fact, I just saw a statistic that said that more than half of people now count referrals and ratings that they find on social media on equal footing from word of mouth from their friends. That's pretty powerful. So if you're looking at that and if you're looking for a great way to continue to grow your business, make sure that you're as easy to connect with as possible. With the rise in social media over the past several years, many businesses are really seeing great results from their efforts. A study showed that 78% of people say that companies' social media use influences their purchasing decisions. Social media interactions play an important role in decisions as well. In fact, 73% of consumers are likely to buy from a brand that responds to them on social media. Customers tend to, as a company, questions using social media, so it's a great way to interact with them. Social media is also important for showing support to nonprofits. In fact, 84% share information to help further a cause. That's all good news for you, because as a small business or a nonprofit, you already have a strong and authentic connection with your customers. Big brands don't have the resources to create a personal connection with their audience like we can as small businesses. That's one major advantage of being local and small. You're able to interact with your audience on a personal level, which is the perfect dynamic for social media. Social media affords you the opportunity to stay in touch with current and potential customers, even when they're not visiting your store, purchasing your services, or interacting with you and your nonprofit. You can nurture those relationships and continue to expand new relationships. By posting and interacting regularly, you'll increase brand awareness and stay top of mind. The truth is, you just have to be where your existing and potential customers are. For the majority of small businesses, that is via email and via social media. Email allows you to directly reach out to your audience, and social media allows you to amplify those efforts. With social media, you'll have the opportunity to grow your business by generating new leads and building and nurturing existing relationships. All of this effort will get more people to know, like, and trust you. So here's our agenda for today. First, we're going to get started by picking a social media site. We're going to go through what's good for each type of thing. And if you've attended one of our seminars before, this is quite a bit more quick and actually quite a bit more useful than we've offered in the past. I'm really excited about what I'm about to offer you today. Step 2, we're going to show you how to set up your networks, the proper way to put your best foot forward when you're connecting with people on social media. Step 3, we're going to talk about how to announce your presence, how to get things out there, how to generate some buzz, and to get people excited and talking about you, your business, or your nonprofit. Then we're going to talk about how to create content, how to use social media advertising, and we're going to do this a little bit differently. We're going to talk about advertising both as a way of generating exact results or responses, but also, and probably more importantly for a small business, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to use social media advertising tools to gauge the size and reach of your individual audience. Finally, we're going to wrap things up with how to grow your list. So this is going to be an action-packed event today. I'm excited to get with you and to have this moving. Again, as a reminder, if you do have questions, go ahead and shoot those to Twitter with the hashtag BizzyWebinar, BIZZY, webinar, and we'll take those questions in kind. And if we don't get to them, we'll follow up with you in person offline. All right, so first, let's get started and help you pick the perfect social media site for you. There's dozens of social media platforms out there, and part of this seminar is about understanding the benefits of each platform. And so that way you can determine which one's right for your organization and your target audience. You're likely already using email to communicate with your audience, but you're going to want to start choosing one social media platform that fits your business best and that is where your audience is. Once you're more familiar and have a strategy for what's working, you can expand to other networks. There are 4 main features or reasons a small business might choose to use social media sites. Let's see the most popular social sites and the features included in each. Social media platforms used for networking allow individuals and businesses to connect with others and share content. Some are focused on business networks, like LinkedIn, whereas some are best known for their personal relationship building, like Facebook and Twitter. All of the networking platforms here are designed for content sharing between connections. News spreads like wildfire on these platforms because of the ability to easily connect and share with others. The sites that are best for networking are the top ones: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, and Snapchat. Now, YouTube and Periscope we'll talk about a little bit more in a couple of slides, but if you want to make connections and forge relationships, those networks are the way to go. Most sites also allow for photo sharing. These social sites are highly visual with the use of images. Studies show that imagery tends to create positive emotions in people, and the rapid increase of the use of smartphones has contributed to this trend. Not only can phone users easily take quality pictures with their phones, but with the help of social platforms like Instagram, Pinterest, and Snapchat, they can quickly or really immediately share their images with others. Sometimes it's also easier to view visual content than it is to place text. This also applies to all of the same networks. So for photo sharing, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and Facebook are your game. Video is also one of the more powerful online tools for business, but it's often seen as a challenge because it requires a little bit more time and effort than other forms of content. However, the booming popularity of streaming makes it really hard to ignore the potential for video for your business. For example, over 6 billion hours of video are watched on YouTube each month. That's an enormous potential audience. Recorded video allows you to produce a video to engage your audience. And so all of the networks, with the outside of Snapchat, are going to be your game. So Facebook has live video, as does Instagram. LinkedIn allows you to share videos, a lot of times via tools like YouTube. Twitter allows you to embed videos as well. Pinterest, you can pin different videos. And then YouTube, of course, is the reigning king of recorded video. And interestingly enough, YouTube is also the number 2 search engine. And if you're looking for anything and how to do almost anything, a quick YouTube search is almost guaranteed to get you a video of what you're looking for. Finally, while the feature most platforms allow you to really connect with your audience and show the audience the real you, on the fly without any editing that you might be doing recorded video, live video is one of those things that's incredibly powerful as well. And there's a few less that offer live video. Facebook, of course, has been leading with live video for a few months now. And so if you go on your phone, you'll probably notice in the upper left-hand corner, right next to where New Post used to be, and more prominent than that is the video, or is the live video button. Same thing with Instagram, which is by no small chance owned by Instagram or by Facebook, as well as, of course, Snapchat, YouTube, and Periscope. Vine used to be a fantastic tool for sharing live video as well, or for sharing video tools as well, but Vine has been sunset by its parent company, Twitter, and actually rumors are that they're shopping for a new owner for that tool now. So it's important to know that you don't have to use all of this stuff, but this is a handy way to get what the big things you can do with social networks and which tools to use. And as a brief segue, if you'd like to take a screenshot of this, if you're using a Mac, you can simply do Command-Shift-4, and that's going to turn your mouse into a crosshairs, and then you can drag this and save it. If you're on a Windows PC, Alt print screen will get you the same thing. Or if you're on a iOS device or an Android, the shortcut for screenshotting is to hold down the home button and the on-off button simultaneously. So you just do a quick tap, and then you can save that for future use. So we've picked our site. Now let's talk about how to set up the perfect social network for you. Now, I'm not going to go through each and every social network because basically everything's the same as far as setups. Once you've chosen a platform, you're going to want to complete your profile with the proper information, like your company or your nonprofit's name. I would absolutely use your corporate name whenever possible. Now, you might have a problem if you have a relatively generic name or a name that's used elsewhere on the web, but get the name that's as close to, especially like for your Twitter handle and your Facebook page URL or your username, get something that's as close to your URL or your web address as possible. Also, make sure that you're using your official corporate name when possible for Twitter and for all of the other tools. Now, again, you may find that your account has been co-opted or your chosen name has been co-opted by someone else, because there are millions and actually billions of account names out there. But fear not, just get as close as you can and focus on the content from there. One thing about all of the social networks that we talked about, in general, like this example is Twitter, but you get a header photo on each of your accounts. So that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Google Plus, which nobody really uses anymore, but it's still great for search engine optimization, and a few others. So having a header photo that's by and large just horizontal is very helpful. And of course, your profile photo or your thumbnail for each of those accounts is going to need to be square. So even if your logo is very horizontal, you're going to want to work with a graphic designer or someone that knows what they're doing. Perhaps go to Fiverr and create a square logo for you and your business. I'll go back to our accounts in a little bit, but BizzyWeb's logo as a word mark is, of course, very horizontal. However, our mascot is Buzz the Bee. So Buzz is actually our social media profile image, because that's our profile photo. It's square, it's easy, and it's instantly recognizable when you're holding a device like a phone at arm's length. So make sure that you're taking care of that. As well, fill out everything that they ask you to fill out. The About Us information is incredibly important. Having all of the different connections. On Facebook, there's a short and a long version of the About Us information. Just take the time and clarify your brand. And as you're thinking about the About Us information and the things that you're going to share on social media, make sure that you're sharing from your client's perspective, not necessarily from yours. So go right to what you do for your customers. If you've been in business for 17 years like BizzyWeb has, you don't lead with that. You lead with what you do and the pain that you solve for your customers. Always think about your customer's perspective first. And just like mobile is the premier choice for design nowadays, it's mobile first, your content and the things that you share should be customer first. So you've set up your networks, you've done that magically. If you want more information on how to set up each of those, BizzyWeb has webinars on each of these, and just go to bizzyweb.com/events and search for the network of choice for much more detail on how to set those up. But now we want to get the word out about how to announce your presence to the world and start collecting that magical social media juju. Once you set up your profile page, everyone starts with 0 fans and no followers. What you do hope to happen once you activate your profile is, of course, to get as much content as possible. You need to invite and announce your presence if you want to grow your social accounts. There's some bunch of ways that you can use to do that. And we actually have a fantastic way to get content out. If you have a minute, and I'm only asking for 60 seconds of your time, just search for 60 ways in 60 seconds. And we have one of BizzyWeb's clients, world champion auctioneer Bobby D of Call to Auction, did an auction style overview of 60 ideas to announce your presence to the world and to help grow your list. So I would encourage you to search for 60 ways in 60 seconds on BizzyWeb. But you're going to want to share via an email. You're going to want to share the new social media accounts on your website. You're going to want to put your social information on your receipts or on table tents. And you want to maybe even take out a physical ad. The goal is to make sure that people see and connect with you wherever they prefer. And so as you're reaching out to the world, think about it again from their perspective. Some folks love Twitter, some folks love Instagram, some folks love Snapchat. Make sure that you're giving folks an option. And when you have a contact on any of those social networks, I would always go back to your website to a social page. So yoururl.com/social, or even on the contact us page, and then use that as the URL that you link to in the About Us, because Twitter gives you one link, Facebook gives you one place to link to for your website, for example. Same thing with Instagram, same thing with Pinterest. Make sure that you give them the one link that's going to let them search for everything else that you do. Now with email, it's pretty simple to do. First, you want to make sure to let your email subscribers know this is low-hanging fruit because you already have a connection with your email contacts. They know you, they love you, and they already want to follow you. So make sure that you share the benefits of the social network that you're going to be connecting with. So say, for example, you've started up a Facebook page. You're going to want to make a post or a new article in your social or in your email that says, we're now on Facebook, connect up with us where we're going to share, and tell them what you're going to share on there. Helpful tips and tricks, easy anecdotes about what it's like to work with us or to work for our cause, easy ways, member-only exclusives, special deals and offers, whatever that's going to be. And then inside of your network, inside of your email, especially if you're using Constant Contact, it's incredibly easy to include social media links. So on the bottom of this page, right underneath Connect with Us Today, you see Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. That's an easy way to go right to your new social networks. And interestingly, a recent survey by Constant Contact found that emails that have social sharing buttons convert more than 80% more than emails that have no other links on them at all. So once people get and once people see that they can connect with you in other places, you're much, much more likely to have them actually try to connect with you on one of those. As well, on your website, you can post easy links. Make sure that you're using proper social media links. Common is to put the social media stuff either up at the top or down at the bottom, as on Lucy Clothing's example here. But put the icons for each of the social networks that you use right on your website. Now, if you put it in the footer like this, I would probably make it blend in a little bit more than Lucy has done here. But really, focusing on the content and on getting people to where they want to connect with you is an incredibly easy way to get people to those places. Again, make sure that you're actually linking people to your Facebook page instead of just to facebook.com. Make sure that you're going to your Twitter account, your Instagram account. And if you don't have an account, a lot of times website templates will just list all of these social networks and take the time to remove any that you're not already proactively using. So if you only use Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram, those are the three that you should use, and you should remove Twitter. So only use the ones that you're going to need. And then on other social sites, you can connect your networks and make sure, again, that under your About Us page, that you link people to one spot where they can connect with you everywhere else. So instead of just going to your website address, your homepage, send them to the Contact Us page where they can see how to connect with you on every other social network. So make sure that you list all of those things everywhere you can. And the easy thing about that is that, again, people like to connect with you on their terms. And if you're respectful of their time and their interests, you're much more likely to get engagement from those clients there. Now, one caveat, and to step back for a second, for a while, you're probably only going to have one social network that you're using. If you're smart and if you're going for the big numbers, Facebook is probably your first bet. You need to create a Facebook page, not just a profile, in order to set that up. And once you set up your page, you need to go to facebook.com/username to create your page. This is All Backyard Fun's page, and they list up here on the left their social account on Twitter, which is kind of a weird thing to do, at Fire Pits. So that's the link that they're linking to from the Facebook page. So having all that content and all the contact info, you'll note that there's a bunch of different tabs down the side here with their Facebook page. So you can see them on house. You can see their Better Business Bureau rating. You can check out photos, reviews, bios, likes, polls, connect with us. That's actually a constant contact app that you can use to grow your email list. If someone clicks on connect with us, that's going to take them right to the sign up to your newsletter link. Sometimes it's not enough to just expect your audiences to find you. Even for those who would love what you offer on social media, they might not have the time or awareness to seek out your page. One of the most effective, although slightly more time-consuming methods of building your network is to seek out your existing clients and target audiences in order to engage with their pages. This is especially true on Twitter. When someone follows you on one of your social networks and engages with you, search out those people and follow them right back. Likewise, when you set up your Twitter account, a very good practice is to identify all of the companies that you would best connect with and make sure that you follow the heck out of them too. So follow, click, 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 link, 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 and sooner than later, you're going to have a very large network of your own as well. You can interact with everyone in a variety of ways. You can follow or like their page, you can share their posts, or even comment to further engage with them. I have a friend who runs her own calligraphy business. She uses Instagram to share images and videos of her work. Instagram and other social platforms provide notifications when others like, comment, or share posts. My friend shares images of her handwriting, and a couple hours later once she received a notification that a stranger had left saying, "Wow, I love this." Naturally, my friend felt complimented and wanted to know who the stranger was. Turns out it was another calligrapher. She began exploring that stranger's page and realized how much she loved that guy's work and couldn't help but follow the profile in addition to liking a number of his posts. Not to mention, once they liked each other's posts and pages, the information was able to be seen by all of their followers, really helping to extend their reach. If you become very visible on other people's pages, and especially if you have good things to say, you're much more likely to get people on those accounts to start connecting with you as well. So the key here is you should be an adder to the conversation, not a taker. So if you were to post on a referral partner, someone that refers you a lot of business, if you were to go to their page and post half off at your business and a link back, that's pretty rude, right? That's like going to a cocktail party and hitting on the waitress, right? Or hitting on the hostess. So what you do want to do is be a proactive addition to any conversation. You should interact, you should engage, you should start conversations with people. A great thing to do is to ask questions in social media. So ask people what they're most interested in. Ask them about things that you know that your clients have issues with and start getting their feedback. And then when they ask you for more detail, then you can share how you can help. But you never lead with what you do and how you can help. What you lead with is a common question that people often ask when they're about to need your product or service. So the key again is to engage. Following organizations and individuals who are similar to you will also have some other benefits to your network. First, you'll be able to watch how they use social media. Pay attention to their activity and what gets the most engagement. One thing that I actually like to do a lot is to follow competitors of mine in other markets So BizzyWeb's in Minneapolis. I like to follow folks in Chicago or LA, New York. That gives me a pretty good idea on what other people are doing without directly sharing or running into direct competitors. If you see someone get tons of likes when they share anecdotes about industry trends, that would indicate that you could probably do the same thing. If they get lots of shares when they post videos, well, then video is probably a good idea for you, your product and service. The key thing is that you can follow and you can gain insights from your competition, but don't share the same stuff, right? So don't just copy their posts. Copy themes, copy ideas, copy things that you know that work. And as long as we're talking about that, let's take the next step and talk about how to create content, because content is the currency of social media. Before we get into the types of actual content, it's important to understand the importance of engaging and shareable content. The bottom line is that what is shared is going to help spread the word about your post and your business. You'll reach more people. So how do you make sure that your content encourages people to share? If you just share a post just because you feel like you're supposed to share something, you're probably wasting your time and the attention of your users. Posting content that's shareable by your audience will get you increased visibility for your business and reach more people. When one of your existing fans shares your post, they'll be sharing it with their friends and followers. The average Facebook user has 334 friends, so you can see how that would get pretty big over a short period of time. The more people that share your content, the more successful you'll be in social media. A couple things to consider in order to make your content shareable. First, it should be something useful to the audience. Think about content that educates with hints and tips or even DIY information. You'll also want to make it engaging, which means you're asking them to take some sort of action, watch a video, click on a link, so on and so forth. And like with your email, visuals help break up the text or share an infographic that will really catch their attention. An image does speak 1,000 words. A video probably speaks 10,000, but they have to be interesting in order to be share-worthy. And then one of the most common things that'll get people's attention is emotion. This is a double-edged sword, and you have to be very careful. Always keep it light in order to avoid getting caught up in some sort of an internet firestorm, right? So easy to share content, and we're all, especially over the past couple of months, right? I'm reaching out to you here at the end of 2016. We just had one of the most vitriolic times in probably American history. And so if you post left-leaning or right-leaning content, there's a good chance that half of who your intended audience is going to be offended or upset by that. So make sure that you keep it E for everybody, something that you would be okay with sharing in mixed company at that cocktail party, or that your grandmother or that your pastor, whatever they may be, would be interested in. As we look a little deeper, visuals are the vital aspect of content that makes your post engaging. 67% of consumers believe that images are a very important factor when selecting and purchasing products. As a small business, you'll utilize images to draw your readers in to take more action. You could share client or volunteer pictures. When you have satisfied customers with their permission, snap a picture of them together with their new purchase and post that photo on your social pages with a description. You can utilize this type of image to host a photo submission contest that revolves around your brand. Images of products, when you get into a new style, you can share posts that encourage followers to purchase the product. Employee or product or nonprofit volunteer spotlight images with a little information about them. That content can help followers create a personal connection with your staff and organization. Instagram is beautiful for that, by the way. Before and after shots, this is especially great if you offer some sort of service. If you have a lawn care business, if you have a construction organization, or if you offer home staging, for example, all of that stuff can be incredibly powerful over social media. And then also behind the scenes. Your customers and followers are often curious about your business. So show them how you operate behind the scenes or how a product is made. It's going to help them to feel more connected to your business. Once you start posting content, you're going to recognize what works better for your audience. It's still a good idea to use a variety of content to keep your audience interested in your page. I worked recently with an outdoor patio furniture company, and they had great success with social content. I helped them get on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to grow their business. They've been sharing before and after photos when a client redecorates their backyard, and even photos of products that link back to their website where people can purchase those products. They've been successful using video content to show progress of job sites when a designer is working to create the perfect backyard for a client. Clients love it, and it really draws customers in. Facebook and Twitter have really helped them to reach a new audience, and Instagram provides a perfect way for customers to visualize how they might want their backyard to look. And so far, with all of the networks that they use, they have more than 4,000 followers. So imagine whenever they're posting something, they're getting up to 4,000 connections. And when those people share, if you multiply by the average user of 334 friends, you can see how that could get very big very fast. Part of creating great content is using keywords and hashtags that are relevant to what you're sharing. They help catch your audience's attention. For example, if someone goes on Pinterest looking for a chicken recipe, any pin that has the keyword chicken will pull up, even if it's an older pin. It works the same way on most social media platforms. So what's the difference between keywords and hashtags? They're both used to categorize people and posts to help searchers find what and who they're looking for. Here's some small differences. Hashtags are specific to content. You wouldn't use a hashtag to refer to another user. Take a look at this Instagram example. When searching for dog, you can see all the conversations about dogs. Helpful hint, this is also a great way to find out what topics are trending, since you can see which hashtags are being used the most. Share content that follows trends and include popular hashtags when possible, but huge caveat here, make sure that you do your research because that hashtag might not be what you think it is. So if you're looking at a hashtag and if you're trying to engage with it, make sure that you check to make sure that it's not something that's completely antithetical to who you are as a company and what you're trying to do. There have been a lot of companies that have gotten in trouble by misusing hashtags, and people tend to get cutesy with their hashtags. So if you post something on Instagram and you make a post, think of hashtags as search terms for similar topics, not as additional commentary. A lot of times people will post things on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and they use hashtags like hashtag I'm so bored, hashtag must be a Monday, hashtag whatever. Useless for your audience. Make sure that your hashtags, when used, can link to other places. The BizzyWebinar hashtag, for example, is useful because you can see what other people are saying about the content that we are talking about right now. Similar with dogs right here. Dogs is pretty general, not a great hashtag. Dogs on Instagram, dogs of Vancouver, dogs are better than people. Dogs are a girl's best friend. You know, we're getting a little bit better, but you know, like yoga studios do a great use of that would be to post different kinds of tags or call it Flexible Monday or something like that, where you're posting images, posting pictures, and you use the same hashtag over and over again to engage in conversation. Let's see what happens when we remove the hashtag and simply search for dog. Notice how the search expands to include other profiles in addition to hashtags and posts. In the end, keywords or hashtags are equally important, and both will help you increase visibility and engagement of your target audience. Now, if you're looking to save a little time or get some inspiration on what to post, you can find ideas just about anywhere. Start by looking for the content on your own website. Think about what's new on your site, the frequently asked questions on your site, new products or services, and even consider sharing a link to a blog post. You can share content that you've already shared on one site with all your other social networks. This will ensure your social media audience, no matter which sites they use, will have the most up-to-date information from you. Don't forget about your emails, of course. And the ultimate goal of posts you share should be to drive drive content and people to your website through a link or to an email sign-up form. Now, it's possible to do a lot of this linking, this cross-posting automatically. There are tools out there, and I'm going to share a couple of them. Probably the most important is your website itself. BizzyWeb builds all of our websites such that when you make a new post on your website will post on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and more. So when you do that, that's saving you time, saving you effort, and letting you use some of that saved time to focus on those individual networks separately. What benefits can you see to sharing on social media? You can increase visibility, of course, by sharing email on social media. You're able to get in front of more people rather than if you just send it to your list. You can grow your list. Anyone who sees your email on social media who isn't already on your list can opt in to subscribe, so they'll receive messages straight to their inbox in the future. And you can save time. Ask how much time you can spend trying to think of content. All you have to do is create your email and then post social media content within a click. One of the ways Constant Contact helps you combine email and social is by allowing you to easily share your well-crafted email to your social media networks, making your marketing even faster and more effective. You can also share other people's content, whether it's your target audience, similar businesses, credible sources. All of those are great ways to connect with other people. Here's a fun thing. You are an expert in your field because you know more than your customer. You also are a part of a network. And so whether it's a trade association publication that you subscribe to, or another friend, or if you're feeling like you need much more data in your life, I would recommend trying out Alltop, ALLTOP. That's all the top blogs in about 3,000 different topics around the web. But you can use that content and repurpose it or curate it to be shared across other networks. The key is that you have to add your own spin to that content. There's a big difference between curating and plagiarism. If you grab content, position it as your own, and copy the entire article, that's plagiarism. If, however, you grab one little paragraph or tidbit from an article that you found that's helpful somewhere on the web, link to that space, and share why that's interesting or helpful to your customers, give them a little bit of your spin, that's great shared content. And by linking back to that other place, that also gives you credibility as well as a little hat tip to the places that you're grabbing content from. 80% of what you do should be valuable, interesting, and engaging content. About 50% of what you post should be designed to engage, and about 30% should be designed to inform. So that's your 80%. The final 20% of what you should be sharing is promotional content or telling people what to do next. It's not necessarily buy now. It's not necessarily half off. What it is click on our newsletter for more information. Join our club, stop by today, and have people connect up or download a white paper, for example. All of this content can be incredibly helpful, incredibly useful, but the content on that 80% should get people so interested that they will want to know what's next. Here's the trick. People love to buy via social media, but everyone hates getting sold. Don't lead with the sale. A lot of people get messed up in social media and they flip this around. 80% of what they do is posts on buy now, do this. Real estate folks are pretty bad at this. All they do is publish listings. But publishing content that's helpful and encouraging and engaging and interesting, once you do that, what people will be asking naturally is, okay, now what? And so you're answering that now what with click here, follow our newsletter, give us a call, stop by today. And yes, once in a while, we're having a sale. Right now, in the first week of December in 2016, the obvious thing is probably going to be a sale. But It shouldn't be like that all the time. So make sure that you're careful with that content as you're connecting. You can also save time. There's tools like Social Suite, My Social Suite. Also, website content and links will allow you to easily publish and post content across other places. Hootsuite also does this. For my money, what you should be doing, however, is to link to your website and have your website take care of content. So let's move forward. Now that you've got some ideas on what to post, I'd like to share how to make sure that content gets seen with social media advertising. Here's the deal. Social media ads will allow people to grow content incredibly fast. EdgeRank is shrinking on Facebook. It used to be in the olden days, if you had 1,000 followers or 1,000 likes on your page, if you had 1,000 likes on your page, you could pretty much guarantee that about 400 people would see it. Now it's more like 40, more like 20 actually. So if you can connect and if you can use advertising to find exactly the right people, that's the best way to connect directly. Seeing ads on social media is one of the best ways for people to learn about any type of business. It exposes folks that would never have seen you to content that you drive. And again, if you're using content that's helpful and useful and engaging, people are much more likely to engage with that content. When social media users do see an ad, about 25% tend to respond by visiting the location or website, and about 14 to 16% will take an action like purchasing a product or a service. And here's the real magic in social media. Facebook, sad to say, especially for all the tinfoil hat folks out there, they know a lot about you. They know a lot about everyone. That's why they made $3 billion last month in advertising. So what they do is they know exactly how old you are, your likes, interests, and preferences, the things that you do online, and of course, who you are, what you do, who you're related to, your friends. And so how all of that stuff works is with advertising, the process for each platform is a little bit different, but here's some 3 general steps. First, you need to pick a relevant message or promotion that your audience is going to see. Now, I generally, especially for Facebook, discourage people from doing like advertising or encourage page likes on your page, precisely for the reason that I alluded to before. The edge rank on pages, or the likelihood that people will see content just because you posted it on your site, has fallen through the floor from 40% to less than 2. So having a lot of likes on your page isn't guaranteed to get you results, but having relevant content to a direct image or item on your social media feeds is much more likely to convert. Which leads me to step 2. You'll need to define the audience you're targeting, who they are, what they like, where they live, all that kind of stuff. In some cases, you'll be able to target based on gender, age, location, and specific interests. You can upload a file and Facebook will match the audience that's in that file. That's why it's so important for you to maintain your list, even if you're not using email marketing. And finally, you'll need to set up a daily budget for your ad and choose the duration your ad will run. Most social media platforms will charge you based on the reach of your post and or the amount of engagement your post drives. How many likes, clicks, conversions, and all that stuff. Now, even if you don't want to spend a single nickel in social media advertising, you can still use advertising tools to get information about your market. So if, for example, in this example, you were looking for, or you were Jack's Barbecue, and you were looking for people who were interested in food and drink within 5 miles of the Jack's Barbecue restaurant, and that fit particular demographics. So male, 25 to 35, involved or interested in volleyball or outdoor sports, so on and so forth, and perhaps also visit coffee houses. Facebook knows that. And so you can see that in your market, there's about 2,500 people that match that particular demographic. So this is where the magic of social media marketing comes in. You can lay out what's called a marketing persona for your client base. Figure out exactly who your ideal client is, generalize that person into a fictional person, and then list every single attribute you can think of who your ideal client would be. Feed that information into Facebook and see how large that network is. You don't have to enter in your credit card. You don't have to give them any money, but you'll know how big that is. And then you can start tinkering with individual things. So if you wanted to market to someone that's into butterfly collecting and Taekwondo, you can do that. And you can see, okay, well, that doubles my audience. So then you can start messing with and playing with the variables that are going to get you the best results. Now, Constant Contact can also help you with this, because if you're using email marketing, there's an easy way to manage your list and have Constant Contact fill out some of that advertising stuff. This tool ensures that your ad is getting in front of people that look like existing customers on your mailing list. The best part about the feature is that the audience will be able to click to view your email and have the ability to sign up directly inside of your email marketing list. Plus, if you're running short on time, Constant Contact can actually create that ad for you. Take some time to learn about your business, history of your customers, and target the right audience with great content that'll catch their attention. With that in mind, I'd like to kind of move on and share some other helpful info. Many social platforms have the ability for you to create ads. These are all the big networks that include the option for some paid advertising. Just like with choosing the platforms you want to use for regular posting, you'll need to consider which platforms will help you reach customers more effectively. So Facebook, easy, duh, it's where everybody is if they're basically over 30. Google Plus, it's mostly a search engine optimization play. So if you want to show up in Google searches, advertising on Google Plus is a great thing to do. Pinterest tends towards women and crafty kind of pursuits. LinkedIn, of course, is corporate. Instagram is where the millennials, people under 30, start coming in. Twitter is for the frequent sharers and for helpful small tips and tricks. YouTube, again, is kind of a catch-all, but with a video bent. And then Snapchat is definitely the millennial tool of choice for interacting and engaging. So using Snapchat stories can be an incredibly powerful way to connect and engage, given if your company is playful and if you're interested in tinkering, because there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with Snapchat stories, but it's really kind of the wild, wild west of the advertising world. So let's talk about growing your list, and then we'll get you off onto your day. So being active on social media can turn leads into loyal customers. Once you get those customers, once you get people teased in, that's when your email marketing can come into play. Remember that funnel and how we flipped it upside down? I want to bring this back to that conversation, because in today's world, we utilize our existing customers and fans to connect with new customers. And that's what social media is so amazing at doing. When we create a social media page, we ask our existing customers to follow us on that page. And when they do, their friends will see what they've liked on that business page. Social media is almost like the new word of mouth for your business. So really what we need to leverage on both platforms to get the maximum exposure. Email helps you send a communication directly to your subscribers and has a 97% deliverability rate. We talked about a minute ago that only 2% of our fans and followers will see your posts on social media. Combining email and social is great for gathering followers and building a reputation online. In fact, small businesses who combine email and social tend to see about 73% more customer engagement, 57% more new customers, and 39% more business referrals. Once someone's followed you on social media, ask them to sign up on your email list so you can nurture that lead through email marketing. Email marketing is a more effective way to communicate directly to your potential customers because you have a one-to-one communication to their inbox versus the one-to-many of social media. Plus, you have far more control over your marketing via email, allow you to determine your strategy for converting potential customers, donors, etc. This stat surely is not meant to downplay the use of social media. It simply just plays a big role in online marketing strategy. Where email lacks, social media picks up. And where social media lacks, email picks up. That's exactly why we don't recommend one or the other. We actually recommend both. Constant Contact offers several free tools that can be implemented to help you start growing your list in this process. You can add an email sign-up link to your profiles on social networks. You can add email sign-up tabs to your Facebook page. Check out BizzyWeb's Facebook page for a great example of that. And you can click simply onto that email newsletter in order to get into that. And you can add email sign-up links within individual posts. So with every post, you can put down at the bottom, just click here. And if you say, click here and maybe even put that into a button, and in this example, use the URL visitor.r20constantcontact.com/blah, blah, blah, that's going to take them directly to the email sign-up form that looks like this. Using email metrics can help you make social media decisions. So not only can you combine forces outside of your message, but Constant Contact has tools to promote inside your message. When you place clickable links in your social media pages or inside emails, you'll not only drive traffic to your pages, you'll also get valuable tracking data that'll tell you who exactly is most interested in what you're doing. So you will find out quickly who clicks on your Facebook link inside of your message. BizzyWeb has a list of approximately 12,000 people. So when we send out a link, we know how many of those people are engaging or clicking on our Facebook link versus our Instagram link versus Pinterest. Not only can you combine forces outside your message, you can also compare traffic that you get inside of each of your social pages. So here, for example, is the Instagram unique clicks versus YouTube versus Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook. So you can see that about 79% of the responses or the clicks of this particular email went to Pinterest. This is probably, my guess, a customer of ours that has some sort of a crafty bent. So we've gone through a lot today. We're almost at the end of our time together, and you're going to be off to your next event in your day of digital. So all of this work leads to helping you grow your list. One of the main reasons you should use social media is to keep connecting. The number one app on social, or the number one app on phones, is email. That's where people check. That's the one thing that you know and that you can continue to connect with. So here's what to do next. The things that you want to do to get started include picking a platform. My recommendation, if you're just starting or if you don't know where else to go, is just to check Facebook. Start a business profile. So if you have if you're trying to start on Facebook, you have to start with your profile, your personal account on Facebook, and then go to facebook.com/pages, or just click the big green button on every single Facebook page. And then make a post, get out there, start doing some stuff. This is easy stuff. You really can do it, and we are here to help. BizzyWeb can help you in a number of different ways. I'm going to leave my contact information up in just a moment, but I do have a couple of things that I want to share with you at the very end here. First, if you'd like to learn more about any of the social networks or any of the tools and tips that we've talked through today, go to BizzyWeb.com/events, drag through and look through our past events, or just search. If you're interested in Facebook advertising, for example, just type in Facebook advertising in our search box, and you'll get about 5 videos. We have 220 videos total that share in-depth details on how to do social media. If you'd like to get started today with Constant Contact and start trying those things, you can go to BizzyWeb.com/cc for a 60-day free trial, but I have an even better deal for you here. If you are as an attendee of today's event, if you go to constantcontact.com/event-meyer, this is important. You have to enter in this exact URL. We know that you're registered for today's event. When you go to that event, you'll get Constant Contact. Doesn't matter how big your list is, for $5 a month for the next 3 months. So spend $15, use Constant Contact to the absolute maximum effect, and go crazy. Get yourself set up for 2017. And by middle of next quarter, you're going to be absolutely rocking for $15. This is an amazing opportunity, and it's only available for folks that have attended an event with me today. So Check that out. Again, constantcontact.com/event-meyer. If you'd like to know more about BizzyWeb and stay in touch with us, text BIZZY. Watch your autocorrect, please. It needs to be BIZZY to 22828. You'll get a quick text back from us saying, please enter your email address. And then you'll get another text from us that says, thanks, you've been added to our list. And then you'll get helpful digital marketing tips and tricks delivered to your inbox once a month, as well as invites to our upcoming events. We don't sell via that channel. We just provide helpful tips, tricks, and invitations to helpful content. So if you're interested in more of what you saw today, please text BIZZY to 22828. Again, and finally, here's how to reach me. If you'd like today's deck, you're going to get a 2-page handout emailed to you immediately after this event. But if you want more and if you want this entire content, just send an email to dave@bizzyweb.com. If you have more questions, you can reach us at 612-4BIZZY-O, 424-9990. Or if you would like a quick overview of your digital marketing and how you're doing so far, go to bizzyweb.com/buzz. And just like it says on this image here, you enter in your website address, a keyword that you'd like to be found for. This is what your customers are searching for. Your name, your email, and click scan. 45 seconds later, you'll have a 10-page report, including a 2-page checklist on things you can do to improve your marketing results. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me today. Again, I am Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb. BizzyWeb, we help you generate buzz without getting stung, and have a fantastic day. Enjoy your day of digital.